Call to order the Ironton City Council meeting of June 25th, 2026. With us for our invocation tonight, we have Father Peter with St. Joseph, St. Lawrence O'Toole, St. Mary, and St. Anne's churches. If you would stand for our invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance immediately following.
Father Peter's not here.
If everybody would join me in the Lord's Prayer, we'll move forward. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Martin.
Brown.
Here.
Cheney.
Here.
Harvey. Hawk.
Here.
Klein.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Simmons.
Next on the agenda, we have the approval of minutes from the regular council meeting of June 11th, 2026, the Finance Committee meeting of June 11th, 2026, and the Public Utilities Committee meeting of June 11th, 2026. Do we have any edits, additions, or omissions from those minutes? I'm seeing none. Those minutes will stand as approved. Next on the agenda, we have audience participation. If you'd like to address council, please step to the podium, state your name and address, and you will have 5 minutes to address council.
I don't know who was here during the finance meeting, but I was going to reiterate you might have seen it in the press release from Jason Stevens and Shane Wilkin from the state. They did allocate $50,000 towards recreation is what that says. So it's a capital line item. The request was a very vague request for mostly splash park improvements, which was well over $500,000. And for infrastructure upgrades in our recreation site. So we only got 50, and we were working on finding out exactly what that can be used for. But we're thinking the infrastructure upgrades might be something we can tackle with that. We definitely can't build the splash park, that second one right now.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a disappointing number when I think, $3.8 billion was a capital bill?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
We asked them if they left off of 5. We said it was a 550 request.
You leave off a couple zeros or what?
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I was just going to let you know in case you guys had questions about that. We're still figuring that out as well.
You said recreation or infrastructure?
It's recreation.
Oh, okay.
Altogether. Now, in that request, it was for splash park upgrade and infrastructure improvements. So, there's a lot of lighting needs and stuff that we've come across and the outdated stuff. So, I know Ralph and them were working on figuring out what we can do. Awesome. I think there was a ribbon cutting today. Maybe you guys didn't see.
You're looking at the Rone.
oh, yeah, that's sorry. Everybody good? All right, moving on to communications. There are none. Reports, there are none. Marta, would you please give ordinance 2638 first reading?
Amending sections 1260.04 and 1262.04 of the codified ordinances of the city of Ironton, Ohio, first reading.
Marta, would you please give ordinance 2639 first reading? Sorry.
Could I have discussion on 2638? Sure. First. Just wanted to iterate, this came about after the CIC meeting and the realization that we have multiple lots beyond that one in the city that would have possibly had houses on in the past, but currently they're below the size required for the zoning code. And so as of now, that makes it, at least a handful, but probably several lots throughout the city that are unbuildable because they are existing lots that have predated the zoning code. And so this legislation I'm proposing is just to try to create an exception for those houses or those lots that existed pre-zoning code so that they can be buildable, and thus we can have more homes, more utility connections, and housing for more citizens. And so I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to refer that to the Planning Commission.
Troy. We have a motion by Robbie and a second by Troy to refer ordinance 2638 to planning.
I'm all for doing this, by the way. I want the discussion because I was thinking maybe before that. So yesterday, we were at the Mayor's Association conference that OML has. They had a major segment on housing and ways to tackle the modern needs of, getting more development in your community.
Sure.
And lot size, not making like majors, but they were talking about zoning changes that might be necessary for the community to keep growing. And this kind of things right here are something I was planning on coming back to talk to you all about and say, hey, I think we should have a holistic discussion on. We've got all these jobs coming with Vertiv. It's a lot more than what's been announced so far. On top of that, you have Nucor in West Virginia. It's just, I would hope that we could be the leader in housing as well. And we're not talking about a particular type of housing. We're just talking about to support the workforce that could be coming. And that's more utility tax, more utility bills, more income tax. I think it's more finding something along the lines that meets our goals with developers' abilities to tackle some of these things. So that's what I was going to say. You could go to the Planning Commission. I'm fine with this. But I think we should look at it on a bigger scale. We've made some strides with the R1A already. I think modern houses are different,
Sure.
And needs are through the roof.
So we're going to have to.
Like a strategic planning meeting is what I was
You
going to ask if you want to do that.
Do you want to?
Well, Rob, you proposed it. Would you want to do them all, or would you like to just work on this one?
I think we probably need to get a strategic plan before it needs to go to planning
So you
commission.
can do everything out as a chunk.
Yeah, and do it holistically instead of trying to piece everything
My
together.
personal opinion would be, we could go ahead and push this through because it tackles one segment. We could address the other things.
Would you maybe change it to have this is only for like houses pre-zoning?
This is for lots that existed pre-zoning, not the houses per se, but the lots that existed pre-1977.
So it can't have been modified a lot by chance or anything?
For this legislation, no, but the only reason, which I'm not opposed to something like that, I was just trying to avoid if somebody was taking a small lot and divided it in two.
The one thing about it that really stood out to me was, because you do hear about this a lot, is capturing housing needs for all
segments.
generations. So like 18-year-olds, let's get them out of their parents' basement before 35, like that kind of housing. Like it's like rentals, and then to small starter homes, to full-size, full-family homes, like capturing it all the way up to scale and kind of taking an approach to zoning where it's like so it's continuously cycling out instead of ending up with like people who can't get out of senior homes. Obviously are a big one, because they're the ones that get stuck in these massive houses they can't take care of anymore, and going around to live in them with them. So,
which these lots being under the 4,800 square feet, they still have the setback requirements that apply to those particular districts, and so I think roughly probably be looking at maybe upwards of 1,200-ish. This ballparking, it would probably be like the maximum lot or house size on those smaller lots, and so depending on how big that lot is, so this would be, I think, starter home, senior home.
yeah, this could go ahead and push the needle on this at least. I mean, and if we get to something different by the time this gets to the point to vote on,
we could always.
Yeah.
The zoning change has to go to the planning commission.
Well, right, and we need to get a hold of the planning commission and find out when they're available. So
They have 30 days to respond back.
so we'll send that out and we'll figure that out. So, actually, we have a motion to send it to the planning commission, so let's go ahead. Nate, do you have any more discussion? Okay. Motion by Robbie and a second by Troy to send ordinance 2638 to planning commission. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Klein.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Ordinance 2638 has been referred to the planning commission.
One of them query, please.
John?
Since there weren't enough to suspend the rules on this, and it was referred by a simple majority rather than a major majority,
It only needs 4 votes to be referred.
thank you very much.
And this, you can't suspend the rules on a zoning ordinance. It has to be given 3 readings at 3 separate meetings.
Okay,
It can't go into effect as an emergency. I mean, all that's in the charter.
thank you.
All right, moving along to ordinance 2639. Marta, would you please give that first reading?
Authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Hustle Performance Gyms LLC to provide the city's recreation services and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Nate?
I'd like to note that ordinance 2639 received favorable recommendation from the finance committee.
Noted. Any other discussion? Moving on to ordinance 2640. Marta, would you please give that, or 23?
That was.
20,
That's
okay, that's my fault. So, do we need to motion to change that?
Is there an error on there?
It says 2340, but it
Just
should
on
say.
the agenda, not on the thing,
Okay.
so.
Marta, would you please give ordinance 2640 first reading?
Amending the permanent operating budget for the city of Ironton, state of Ohio for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026, and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Nate?
I'd like to note ordinance 2640 received favorable recommendation by the finance committee.
Noted. Any other discussion? Good. Moving along to ordinance 2636. Marta, would you please give that second reading?
Authorizing the mayor to enter into the attached electronic payment support purchase agreement and bill payment agreement with Nuvi and its subsidiary Paya Inc. and declaring an emergency. Second reading.
I have discussion. Is this, so John, this allows for the online check or whatever with now.
No, there is some, like the ACH, the city of Ironton will absorb that. If you do it like with a credit card, there's still a 3% merchant fee that will be passed on to the consumer.
Okay.
This interfaces with our current financial software, and we will be able to take miscellaneous payments. You know, if somebody said, well, I'd like to get a service license, service worker's license, do you take credit cards? Well, yes, as a matter of fact, we do. And we've not been able to do that in the past.
Well, so let me ask you this, like with the rec stuff, because I've always wanted some type of, will we be able to do a payment through this?
And I
with
believe,
for registration fees for?
I believe we'll be able to do that online.
Right, that's what I'm
Yes.
saying, so we can send it through there online.
That was my understanding when it was presented to us, all the bells and whistles.
Okay.
I have a question. Can we make a place online for make a donation? Serious, I'm being serious. Like maybe some philanthropist from Ironton that we don't know about has a heartwarming experience online one day. And
Yeah.
They don't need a,
and you can set it up like you do a campaign, so they do have to disclose their information. That way you will have your
Yeah.
monitoring.
Actually, just saw the city of Beaver Creek, Ohio. They have a slide that's been there forever. That's like got nostalgic value, and they don't have the money in their budget right now, and so they are doing a campaign on replacing this slide, and it's gaining momentum.
I like that idea.
All right, is there any other discussion on that? You fit,
I just want to, you talked about recreation, with with this in 2639, the contract with that, that group is gonna be in charge of registration fees and so forth.
Yes.
In that contract, so that's not something that we'll need to be handling ourselves.
Well, that's one, but can it go through us? I guess like have them go through, or they're, no, that's probably not one. Okay. So that'll be that responsibility, correct? Okay, good deal. Okay, good, thank you for clarifying that. Everybody good on 2636? Moving on to 2633, where would you please give that third reading?
Repealing codified section 474.07 of the Ironton City Code and declaring an emergency for reading.
Nate?
I apologize, I missed that meeting for first reading and when that was proposed. Could we get like just a high level summary?
Okay, so do you remember?
I know we've had problems.
It was Joe's law.
It was Joe's law.
So what and this came about with e-bikes also. So what had happened in the past was we kind of had some things in our ordinances that kind of
They go against ORC.
And we didn't change it when we talked about it.
Yeah.
Like, because it was requiring to
It
be on
tells
the
you to ride your
sidewalk.
bike on the sidewalk when ORC says you're supposed to ride it on the street.
Basically, we were getting contradictory legislation from the state and local. So this kind of just refers it back to ORC for bicycles and the e-bike.
So this directs them to stay on the street?
And follow the traffic, obey the traffic signs, laws, everything like that. Troy?
Were any type of scooters included in this?
I think it just applies to bikes.
Yeah, I think this is just bikes.
Yeah, there is probably want to look at it on a much larger scale, you know?
Any type of vehicle?
Because it's not like when we were using them in DC, like there are places where you can go on the sidewalk because it is safer. You don't have a bike lane or a wide enough street, like say 5th Street, 6th Street, like you're kind of risking it out the road, but you can use the sidewalk when permissible, but it's more so directing you to obey normal traffic laws.
Yeah. It's the safe riding regulations for bicycles. So, usable path. It's just basically all of this stuff goes against ORC.
Okay. Now,
Joe's law being repealed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I would consider so motorized anything I would consider that's a motorized vehicle. So they're following the law regardless. Now, bicycles, I would consider an e-bike a bicycle still, correct?
I don't know, I think it's motorized.
No, they're electric. That's what was the difference.
We do have ordinances for the electric bikes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the scooters, I think, fall under the same thing. If you're making it like ORC to protect, it'll cover those both, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't have bike lanes in the city. You know, now we may have to revisit it if we, get to have bike lanes, but I think it's just ORC, reverting back to ORC instead of.
Yeah, which that'll cover, I think,
past.
You're not allowed to go no hands. Seriously.
I would like to amend
No trick riding.
I'm gonna make a motion to adopt ordinance 2633.
Troy, I'll second. Have a motion by Nate and second by Troy to adopt ordinance 2633. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinance 2633 has been adopted.
That can't go in as an emergency, it takes 6 votes, but it's still passed, but you have to wait 30 days for it.
Moving on to resolutions, there are none. Miscellaneous. Nate?
Got several items, so bear with me. First, I'd like to make a motion to accept and make part of the minutes our May 2026 financials.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Nate and second by Jacob to accept the financials for May 2026, excuse me. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye. Those financials are accepted.
Okay, next thing, Mayor, I'd like to ask if we could have John Haskins at our July 23rd meeting, see if he can give an update on the wastewater treatment plant improvements and the bond that we passed. Next, I had a couple people reach out with concerns. First is the tall grass and weeds near the overpass, and across from where the beginning school used to be. Is that something the flood department can cut?
I can see who can cut it. We can't. I don't think we use the mowers on it, but used to in the past it's been like over here them doing it, or I think Jansen's crew's done it before too. But we could get our crews to do it.
Okay.
But we got another big one too. We're helping after we get done with potholes and stuff is to go out there to Kelly Cemetery. It's got a lot of stuff down. That historic cemetery by Indian Hills. But I will tell them to get on that one too if we can't get someone else to do it.
Also, there's a tree on March Street across from Moulton's Field that's fallen and partially.
It fell.
But it's not.
It's hanging.
It's part on the street.
Yeah, it's been on the list to do.
If we could, I don't know if we can cut that and assess that to the property owner, or how we do that, but I know that it's caused some traffic issues in parking and using that field. At our last meeting, we approved then and now for the eGov for the reporting. I think that's for the code enforcement.
Yeah. Smart guy.
Smart Gap, sorry. We've talked about wanting to use the same type of software for report potholes, to be able to report other things in the city also.
I think we got the pothole thing on the website.
Is it for the potholes specifically?
Yeah, that one's
Okay.
more specific.
Okay. I just didn't want
Them going in and changing the back end on those things, because it's more of like a permitting service and tracking service on like those kind of like citations or permits. So it's a little different. They would have to I don't know.
I didn't know, because it says report code enforcement issues here. I didn't know if there's something you can make more general and how to filter it out for like different concerns.
Yeah, those do filter, but it's mostly for building,
Yeah.
slum and blight, storm or fire type things. Like it's whereas like the pothole will be more. It's not necessarily a code enforcement issue, but like an issue. But it's a common issue, so I'm pretty sure we put it up on the website.
Okay.
Greg said that it was working.
Okay.
Do you know where it is on the website?
I don't.
Is it?
I think it's a little like it's kind of like a pop-up thing that's down in the corner, like in the bottom right corner maybe.
It's like a little assistant.
That's the way I
I
understood it.
wonder if we could actually have a button that's a little bit
Well, I was
easier to
going to do it as a
find.
try, but I was like, well,
Gotta find
did I? But I was like, no, but like, am I going to falsely report something? And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Next, I'm going to give you this. I didn't know, can you give this to Mark Dickens, please? This is from the Department of Behavioral Health. This is a list of recovery housing residences that department has published. Get out of here. On that list is while it just says Ironton, it doesn't have the exact location where as far as address goes on that. It has a total of 35 different locations in the city and 235 beds in the city. And my question is, if you could ask, Mark, do they have a business license that includes the address and locations of each of those? Like we had it set up in that application.
Okay.
And also, can follow up to see if they're in compliance with the zoning laws regarding the number of unrelated people in a dwelling, because what they've self-reported through the Department of Behavior and Health exceeds more than 3 or 5, all of those.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if that's what, because we ran into it first was they were getting occupancy permits from, what's it called? Bill Tool. So that might, I don't know if these are the numbers that if this is what they have in there, we're gonna have a lot of them if they were after the zoning change.
And then my next question is, some of them are listed as having supervised beds. So I would, for supervised beds, maybe this is a question for Mike, does that qualify as a healthcare business if they're supervised beds?
I would say so.
And if so, I don't believe those should be located in residential zones. They should be in business zones. So I don't know if you can pass that along.
Yeah, do these not have the addresses?
Well, I've tried every way under the sun. Now, there's some that are listed in Ironton. Mended Reeds is all just says Mended Reeds. There's other ones that say specific houses, like this Bethesda, but it says, different named houses.
Yeah, this one says Porter Gap too.
Well, and then there's one that says Etna. So I would consider that probably on Etna Street.
Yeah, that one's not there anymore. That was going to Phoenix's. They shut that one down, I thought, a long time ago.
Then my thing is like seeing this and you see Ironton. I understand places outside the city limits have an Ironton address, but I still would feel better. And if they're out of service, then they don't need to report that house anymore. Truthfully, because this is kind of.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is what's been approved by them or something.
If you recall, when we did set up the business license, they're supposed to disclose the location for each
specific.
Oh yeah,
place.
this is all Florence County.
Well, yeah, but it says City Ironton. There's probably, what do you say, like 35 of them?
You said 35 locations that are in Ironton.
And that's just Ironton address or City of Ironton?
It says City of Ironton. I'm not sure. It doesn't disclose exactly where.
So we don't know if it's in city limits.
Right. And of that, it's 235 beds.
And most of them are supervised homes, which would be considered a business, and they're probably like, we need to figure out where those are, because they should be in a business zone if they're supervised.
So would you care to pass that along, Mark?
Yeah.
Thank you. Last thing I have for miscellaneous is I had people contact me concerning people camping under the bridge, under the overpass at the Moulton's Field shelter. And I know in 2024 we passed ordinance 2438 that prohibited camping in public areas. And just see if there's any citations written for that ordinance, and also we just refunded the family reunification fund for displaced people also, if that's been used.
So we have issued one citation for camping on the riverbank. Normally we tell them they've got like 12 hours to get their stuff and go on. If we go back and they haven't, then we issue them a citation. The one on the riverbank, they moved on, but they left a mess behind. We contacted Mike Hemberton to try to get it cleaned up. I'm not aware of the one at Moulton's Field. There are a couple across the road from Moulton's Field that we're dealing with, trying to get them out of there.
And have you been able to use the family reunification fund to?
We have not yet.
I know John we talked about setting that up for easy access for those.
So that's not an issue that's come up for the use of that fund. A lot of the people that are living on the riverbank are actually locals.
Okay.
So.
What about, I know the spray park and underneath the bridge has had issues with you know, vagrants or camping or whatever. And they're leaving messes at both those locations. I mean,
I just took my kid to the train and there was like a natty daddy sitting
yeah,
in the train.
Yeah, we had a break-in too with the caboose and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think that was more vandals.
Oh, it was open when we went there.
Yeah, I don't know if it was homeless or not because it was like vandals type stuff. But
I personally, you know, I think their tools are there for us to utilize. We put a lot of legislation and funding towards it, so I mean, I think the purpose of it was for the safety and the health, because I mean there's been issues where I've gotten calls about feces being on the spray ground. So I'm basically on the spray ground and underneath the bridge. So I think we've got everything that, like, we've passed, you know, whatever legislation, solicitors help us create the legislation and we funded it. So, you know, just for the health and safety of our residents, we'd like to see that stuff, you know, taken care of. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to go to executive session if everybody's done with this.
Robbie, Troy, and
Okay, cool. Just a few questions for the mayor. Mary Anteska asked me about the Rice property, some of the lots that haven't been mowed. Do you know if that's on the hit list too? And then also, she asked about the last meeting when you were out, Sam. She had mentioned the mosquito spraying up on Karen Street, that apparently a citizen told the person spraying that they didn't want Karen Street sprayed and that they skipped it.
who knows if that happened or not.
I don't know if we can look into that, but
There was another street that was.
I think it was Karen and one other. I can't remember what the
We usually don't just take advice from the citizens. We say put your people up and
Yeah.
stay in your house. Like,
right.
we
But
can't
she was saying
because every block would have someone bitching.
Well, what she's saying is a citizen came out and complained not wanting it done, and that the company spraying said, okay,
We
you
usually
didn't do it.
have Mike ride with them though. to
Oh,
do
okay.
that, So
Okay.
I'll find out.
Yeah. And then the other question I had last meeting, and Terry, I think, tried to answer that, but do you know how many times we cut properties that are chronically not mowing their lawns? Is it how many times per year we're able to?
Oh, we don't. I mean,
I know we contract that out, but
I don't know how many times per year. It just depends on the property. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
case by case.
I guess
I know that we do not, tidy them up. We go in we have people with weed eaters going in and just getting them knocked out.
I guess my question was if there would be, what we could do to possibly get that done a little bit more frequently for those houses that are chronic offenders that we know are vacant, or we know that somebody's passed away and bad for their neighborhoods. I know when you've got somebody that's
I'll find out and see what the cost is.
Because we
I
did
do know
assess that back,
usually
right?
it costs quite a bit to even. That's why we're doing it with weed eaters.
Right.
We're having people do it, just the bare minimum because of the cost on having to mow something that high.
But we do assess that back, right, too?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I've got.
Troy.
I just had a few things. I was going to see if we could call a strategic planning meeting for sometime before our next meeting. If that committee would like to do that regarding flat cameras and ALPRs. People have been talking about lately, and if the chief of police could be here as well.
Yeah, and do you think we'd have time we could roll in that zoning stuff too? Or you feel like that's too big?
I feel like these are both would be really fresh discussions.
Yeah.
This has.
Yeah, I feel like we're starting from scratch almost on both of them.
Okay.
Just at some point, like
Yeah.
if we could.
Depending on what time.
Would you be good before the next meeting? Like 5 o'clock?
Yeah, let me double check the calendar.
Or
I
should
also-
or should we do it like? Do you think we could do it? Right? I mean, maybe that's not what it is.
Or, I mean, if it's a separate day for more time, I'm fine with
Yeah.
that too. So.
Yeah. Whatever works best for everyone, I would like to be there. I know at last meeting we had someone during audience participation that asked about it. I've seen a lot of things on Facebook lately about it regarding.
Learned a lot more about them since that meeting, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, those type of AI cameras. I think it'd be good to have a discussion. I have a lot of information I could bring to the table too, with some things I've looked at and some legislation from other communities. But it doesn't matter exactly when it is to me. I can do next meeting, but whatever's best for that committee.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I'm good with it. We can call it for 5 o'clock at the
5 o'clock
next
is the
meeting.
next meeting, and that is July 9th. So Jacob, you're calling strategic planning, 5 o'clock, council chambers. Agenda regarding flock cameras and zoning for, or let's just say ordinance 26, is it 36? Or 38?
26:30.
2638. So flock cameras and 2638. Good, good. Anything else included in that?
I've got something, but we'll save it for it because I think that's going to fill our time enough with what we've got on the agenda. So I'll save that for another time.
And I just have one other thing, Mayor, there's been some Facebook posts online regarding potential sex offenders near the splash park and other recreational facilities. I didn't know if the department was aware of that or if it was just Facebook posts. I was wondering if there was like any type of signage that we could put up regarding that ordinance that had passed in some of those more populated areas like the splash park, to where parents, if they do have a concern, they are aware that there is legislation regarding that in the city.
I mean, yeah, somehow putting awareness out. I will say, just like, and I learned this too myself, like, talk about being aware of like how you present your parks to people. Like 9th Street Park used to always have neighborhood watch all over every fence, which made everyone feel like it's not a great place to go. So maybe we just kind of handle it if someone there does something.
Did you guys get any information about that last week? When I think it was.
I saw that too.
Let me find the date for that.
I was aware of one, a lady posted something on there.
Yeah.
But she hadn't reported to us and really didn't give me any details for us to follow up with.
That's what I was curious about, if it was just like more of a viral Facebook group post or if anyone had actually been contacted.
Yeah, no,
It's just like what you were talking about earlier. Like if somebody's camping, we gotta be able to act on it while they're there.
Yeah.
Instead of like if we find out here, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
These people should call the police instead of calling you all.
Yeah, and I understand the perception of like a sign like that being
Yeah.
there, but it also like lets people know that if they do have a concern, they should call somebody
Yes.
and not just post it on Facebook, I guess is my thought.
Yeah, like an anonymous, just call.
Yeah, like they don't have to be a part of like a.
Doesn't have to say what for.
Yeah, but something to where.
See something, say something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We're
Versus-
also trying to make a better presence at those places
Okay, great.
during the slower hours.
I did see. We had an officer watching that place like the other day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all I got, Jacob.
No, that was all I had. Flock. Yeah.
I was just going to follow up on that. Do we have any cameras over the splash park and area and like the caboose and that?
We don't really have any cameras that work at all.
So that might be something we need to.
That thing did turn red whenever I said something. These cameras work, or they're not working right now either.
Okay, so that's something. I wonder if that's something that we could discuss. Community improvement funds being useful.
And I talked to Troy, like, I understand like some of the AI tracking people thing, but I do think there should be some, in some areas,
Yes.
Especially where we made a lot of investments.
I think the new riverfront development area, the splash park area, yeah.
So is that, I don't know if that's something that we can.
Yeah,
There's that recreation.
the previous administration had someone do that, and they were a relative, I believe, or something. And I've never really been able to work with the person, and they don't really show up to help us anymore.
Okay. So
I don't even know how this work. Now the other ones we have in town were brought when the bridge came. They're on the new light poles, those traffic signal poles.
Are those ODOT cameras or?
Yeah, well, they turned it over to us, but I think it was going to cost us like $4 or $5 grand just to get the company to come down here and assess what was wrong with them. So that was kind of standstill, but
Okay. Why not? We can get, maybe if we got time to be playing it, I'll talk about that when everybody else is doing stuff. Hey,
I'd like to make a motion to go to executive session, to discuss real estate and contracts, and then action to follow that, mayor, finance director, and solicitor.
second. Have a motion by Nate, second myself, to enter executive session regarding contracts and real estate with action of law. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Aye.
Hany.
Aye.
Hawk.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. We are entering